More facts are coming your way. Let's do this thing. Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. The seawater in Boston Harbor in Massachusetts Bay has been found to contain caffeine. Although tiny, the traces are there. 140 to 1600 nanograms in the Boston Harbor and 5.2 to 71 nanograms in Massachusetts Bay. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, on average, people who smoke die 10 years earlier than non-smokers. And every person who dies because of smoking, at least 30 people live with a serious smoking-related illness. Jell-O is made from gelatin that is produced by boiling the bones, skin, and hides of animals such as cows and pigs. People have been eating it since 1897, and it accounts for about 80% of the gelatin market. Abraham Lincoln was in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. He had an awesome physical size at 6'4", was widely known for his wrestling skills, and had only one recorded defeat in a dozen years. It was the beard and the top hat, I'm telling you. It's a good character. Echidnas have a four-headed penis. Also known as spiny anteaters, they don't even use their penis to urinate, and it only leaves the body during an erection. The golden silk orb weave spider's web is so strong that it can capture a bird, and then it eats the bird. Marigolds and other plants that contain the pigment xanthophyll are added to chicken feed to make their egg yolks appear more orange. In Peru, fried or roasted guinea pig is considered a delicacy. Known as cuy, it's been a staple in Peru's diet for around 5,000 years. The Aztec people often used cocoa beans as currency. Argyria is a condition which turns a person's skin a bright blue color. It's caused by chronic exposure to silver. A California man named Paul Carrison developed this by using a special silver-based preparation to treat a skin condition and drinking colloidal silver, a product that consists of silver particles suspended in liquid. In 1998, construction worker Travis Bojamil was accidentally shot with a nail gun that drove a 3.25-inch nail into his skull. The nail lodged in the area of the brain that typically involves processing math. He was completely fine after the nail was removed, except his math skills weren't what they used to be. In the year 1900, inventor Ludwig Ederer invented an alarm mechanism that was built into your bed. When you set the alarm to a specific time, the bed rose to a 45-degree angle and tipped you out of bed. It didn't catch on. In the 1800s, researchers found one of the first ever Iron Maidens in a castle in Nuremberg, Germany. An Iron Maiden is a device of torture where the person is put inside a sarcophagus with spikes on the inner surface. When the doors were closed, the spikes would puncture several organs, including their eyes, but not deep enough to kill them, just deep enough that they would bleed to death over several hours. Yahoo was originally called Jerry's Guide to the World Wide Web after one of its creators, Jerry Yang. It was officially incorporated on March 2nd, 1995, and was pretty awesome. Until Google came around. In 1881, dentist Alfred Southwick got the idea for the electric chair after witnessing a freak accident when an intoxicated man died after he accidentally touched a live generator terminal. The Barreleye Fish has a completely transparent head. It inhabits depths of around 2,000 feet to 2,600 feet where the darkness approaches absolute black. Some insects smell with their genitalia. There's a genetic disease called fish odor syndrome where a person excretes an excess of chemical called TMA in their urine, sweat, and breath that causes them to smell like rotting fish. The average person has 2 million sweat glands. The Parliament of Iceland is the oldest still acting parliament in the world. It was founded back in 930 AD. Political gatherings typically lasted for 2 weeks in June, which was a period of uninterrupted daylight and nice weather. The Maya found slightly crossed eyes beautiful. Parents of babies would actually hang objects like stones right between their baby's eyes to try to get them to go cross-eyed. Lyme disease disease got its name because it was first recognized back in 1975 when researchers found that a large number of children in Lyme, Connecticut were being diagnosed with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. A group of porcupines is aptly named a prickle. In 2015, Apple recovered 2,200 pounds of gold from recycled iPhones, iPads, and Macs. That's worth over $40 million. Gold is frequently used in consumer electronics because it's highly averse to corrosion and an excellent conductor of electricity. And while silver is actually the best conductor, it corrodes more easily. In ancient Olympics, women were not allowed to compete, and married women weren't even allowed to be in the stands to watch. Only young women and virgins were permitted. Fathers brought their daughters in hopes that they would marry one of the champions. Brazilian police on Marajo Island ride water buffalo when they patrol instead of horses. All Starbucks coffee shops in Saudi Arabia have a gender wall. It separates single men from women and families. There's a Starbucks at CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, where workers undergo an intense background check before they're hired, and they aren't allowed to put customers' names on any of the cups. And believe it or not, it's one of the busiest Starbucks in the country. Most Bolivian families have a dried llama fetus under the foundation of their houses for luck. They're most commonly found at Bolivia's witches market, where you can also find toad talismans, owl feathers, and stone amulets. Austrian inventor Valentin Vodev has invented a scooter/stroller hybrid. With the click of a button, the stroller transforms into a scooter and can travel as fast as 10 miles per hour. The coconut crab grows over 3 feet long and is not only the largest land crab, but is also the largest arthropod, the group that includes insects, spiders, and crustaceans. Okay, this is some Jumanji stuff. Most meteors are actually the size of a grain of sand and disintegrate in the air. The larger ones that actually reach the Earth are called meteorites and are very rare. Believe it or not, green bell peppers are just less mature, less ripe versions of red, orange, and yellow peppers. Back in 2007, a priest was arrested for stalking late-night talk show host Conan O'Brien. He was writing threatening notes on parish letterhead, contacting his parents, and showing up at his studio. He referred to himself as your priest stalker. That's creepy. The stop sign originated in Detroit, Michigan back in 1915 and was originally black lettering on a white background. Then it was black lettering on a yellow background before it was finally red and white. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliophobia means the morbid fear of long words. Jupiter is the 4th brightest object in our solar system. Only the Sun, Moon, and Venus are brighter. It is one of the 5 planets that you can see from Earth with the naked eye. The pink fairy armadillo is the smallest species of armadillo. It is a mere 4 inches long and weighs about 100 grams. Also, it's pink. In Las Vegas, an average of 5 to 7 adults are reported missing every day and more than 200 a month. 40 to 50 million years ago, Antarctica's climate was very similar to modern-day California's. If you leave towels, chairs, or sun umbrellas overnight to save a spot on busy Italian beaches, officials will take what you've left behind and fine you about $220 to get your property back. The very last McDonald's hamburger and fries in Iceland is on display at a bus hostel in Reykjavik right now. You can even watch real-time footage of it over a live stream. A man purchased it back in October 30th of 2009 and it's still on display. In South Korea, if you win gold at the Asian Games or any medal at the Olympics, you are exempt from the country's military service, which is mandatory for able-bodied males. The walnut-sized male blanket octopus tears off the tentacles of passing Portuguese man-o-war jellyfish as a defense mechanism. Tigers have a retinal adaptation that reflects light back to the retina, which makes their night vision 6 times better than humans. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, since 1973, 156 people have been exonerated and freed from death row. There is a Switzerland-based company that for a measly $29,000 will name your baby for you. You know, just in case you weren't capable of naming it Sally or apple or something. Kamikaze, or exploding ants from Southeast Asia, kill themselves when under threat. They have a toxic substance in their heads and in 2 large glands on the sides of their bodies that are filled with poison. Under threat, they literally explode their heads or rupture their bodies to spray the poison to cover the predator. In medieval times, bras were called breast bags. The 2016 Olympics in Rio was the first time in Olympic history that a South American country had hosted the games. And those were more 50 amazing facts. I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate you guys coming by today. Thank you so much. Remember to come back on Monday and every weekday at exactly 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'll have a brand new video for you. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you then.